South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sports book and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning. Okay, welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this Saturday morning. It is Super Bowl Eve in your gaming capital of the world. We're coming to you live and direct from the South Point studios at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex right here on the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. And I can tell you it's really rocking and rolling now, man. People are really getting pent up and just like counting down the hours and the minutes now until the Super Bowl 58. Here down the street at Allegiant Stadium. In the meantime, they're getting ready here at the South Point. They're starting to decorate out here and all that stuff for the big Super Bowl day. And all I can say, folks, if you're not having plans to go anywhere or certainly to the stadium and mortgage your house to do it, come on down to the South Point. They're going to have big ballrooms open, etc. We'll give you more on that a little bit later on. And, of course, the betting action will be hot and heavy right here in the sports books behind us. But we're going to talk more about the racing today, that's for sure, because we have a Kentucky Derby leaderboard race up for grabs in the Sam Davis at Tampa Bay. We got two Kentucky Oaks leaderboard races for the Kentucky Oaks, the Suncoast also at Tampa Bay, and, of course, the Las Virgenes, who was rescheduled from last week to this week after the cancellation. And we also have a race today that will provide a win in your inn for a horse, whoever wins it, to the Preakness Stakes, the middle jewel of the Triple Crown. So we got a lot on our plate. I want to welcome everybody here. If you're watching at YouTube on the South Point Studio label there, the section there for us, you can see us and hear us. And while you're there, hit this. Always try to hit the subscribe, because if you're not subscribed yet, do it. It is free of charge, okay? And, of course, all of you listening worldwide on many of the different streamings that we have are streaming at our Race Day Las Vegas sites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas.world.global, your iPhone, Android with your KSHP app that you can hear on your devices and certainly anywhere you get your podcasting. And right here in Las Vegas, our anchor radio stations, Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. However, wherever, whenever, welcome to the show for this Saturday, that's for sure. We got a lot to cover, so we'll try to get to it right away. I'll just take a quick look at what happened yesterday. Our handicappers did real well yesterday. John Lindo gave us a winner in the 6th race at Gulfstream, Naughty Favors. Naughty Favors paid a nice $12.80 to win there. Jonathan Hardoon came a couple of races later with his pick in the 8th race, Future Is Now, and he got there. Now, not in the future, but right now. Future Is Now paid $7.40 for the win there. That was two parts of not only the late pick 4, but the late pick 5 as well. All I can tell you is John Lindo was really hot with his sheet at Gulfstream Park. Over Thursday and Friday, he had 9 winners from 18 top picks on those 2 sheets. He had 4 on Thursday and 5 yesterday, so John was seeing the ball well at Gulfstream Park. That happened yesterday at Gulfstream. Paco Lopez had a couple of winners. Luis Saez also had a couple of winners at Gulfstream. As far as Aqueduct is concerned, Aqueduct, big pick 6 payoff of $16,809.60. Lucio Ruiz had a couple of winners, and so did Jose Lascano, who accounted for the early double, winning the 1st and 2nd races there at Aqueduct. And it looks like it's going to be great weather there at the Big A as well. So all I can say is, as far as the weather is concerned around the country, it's beautiful right now in all the places it needs to be beautiful in. As far as the East Coast is concerned, etc., it's going to be great. There's a lot of action going on through Texas. Parts of Louisiana, Arkansas goes right up through the Midwest and then up to Canada. But right now that front is still far away from the East Coast, so we'll get in some great racing on the East Coast today, hopefully without any off tracks at all. Southern California is finally clear. We'll have racing there at Santa Anita today. So all of the racing jurisdictions that are having racing today live outdoors seems to be in good shape, not a problem there. And I want to remind everybody, too, we got early post times tomorrow because of the Super Bowl. 3 racetracks will have early post times tomorrow. Of course, Golden Gate and Santa Anita, the 2 on the West Coast, will have early posts. So we'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow in our menu. And I got a lot to do today, and I want to get started with Jonathan Hardoon because we got to get him on and off by the half hour. So what we're going to do right now is go to our first break and get started with this show. I want to remind everybody again, right here now in Las Vegas, in case you're coming up for the Super Bowl, it's 41 degrees out. We had rain overnight here, but it's all clearing out now. Everything is fine. We're going to get up to 53, and that's the way the temperatures will be for the next couple of days. In the mornings, high 30s, low 40s. In the afternoon, mid 50s to the high 50s. But, hey, you're going to be indoors anyhow, right? All right, we'll be right back with the Race Day Show. And Jonathan Hardoon, get started with this show right after this. Don't go away. We will return.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
Back on Race Day on this Super Bowl Eve Saturday, coming to you from the South Point Studios. A lot of energy going on around here, including the Clydesdales that we had here yesterday. The Clydesdale horses made a few bets in the Super Bowl, so we'll wait and see about that. Temperatures are crazy, folks. The East Coast right now is a lot warmer than the West Coast. Like I said, we're not going to get up to maybe 54, 53 degrees today, but we're looking at like New York, 60 degrees is going to be, come on, Miami, 76. So you can see the cold front is behind all of that weather that's making its way to the East Coast. But like I say, it should be fine for racing conditions today. Let's go to the racing menu of tracks available today in the Racebook simulcast centers and racetracks around the country. Reminding you, as we always do, the first post times we broadcast on this racing menu every day is that at the Pacific time zone. If you're not in it, adjust to it. Don't want you to miss anything at all like I miss Mom and Dad, okay? And just for your FYI, tomorrow on Super Bowl Sunday, Aqueduct, Golden Gate, and Santa Anita will all start early. Aqueduct, 8:50 tomorrow Pacific time. Golden Gate, 11:15 tomorrow Pacific time. Santa Anita, 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's tomorrow. Here's your menu and post times for today. We begin with Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park has 12 races. Their feature race today is the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint, 5 furlongs, obviously on the turf, 4-year-olds and up. 7 go to the post on this one. 7 to 5 favorite there is Carotari, 7 to 5 with Irad Ortiz Jr. 12 races at Gulfstream today, and a first post time of 9:10. 9:10 first post at Gulfstream. Their pick six jackpot carryover now stands at $20,985. That's the cash in the carryover. $20,985 at Gulfstream. First post time is at 9:10. Aqueduct, the big A in New York. First post time is 9:20 at Aqueduct, and 10 races today. Their feature race is the 9th race on the card, the Heavenly Prize, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up, at a mile. There's a field of 8 going there, and right now at Aqueduct, they say it's mostly sunny, 49 degrees, and they have a pick six carryover, $16,809.60. They didn't hit the pick six yesterday at Aqueduct, so the carryover, $16,809.60. And as I say, the 9th race is the feature there. 8 go to the post in that one. No late scratches so far. 8 to 5 favorite there is Saddle Up Jesse, and that is with Manny Franco Jr. aboard. Manny Franco. And first post time at Aqueduct is 9:20 at Aqueduct. All right, Laurel Park is next. Laurel Park has 10 races, and Laurel Park has, I think, a small carryover going on. Pick six jackpot carryover, $3,200 at Laurel. First post time for their 10 races is at 9:25 at Laurel. Next comes Tampa Bay Downs. Big racing today at Tampa Bay. 11 races today, 4 of them stakes races. They'll roll out like this. The 5th race will be the $150,000 Suncoast Stakes. This possesses 20 Kentucky Oaks points for the winner. 6 go to the post in this one. And your favorite at 3 to 5 is Life Talk with Jose Ortiz aboard. He's at Tampa Bay today. Life Talk, 3 to 5 in the Suncoast. A couple of races later, the $50,000 Minaret Stakes goes at 6 furlongs for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Got a field of 9. Wide open race, really. Chi-Town Lady is the 5 to 2 lukewarm favorite there. Then the 8th race will be the $100,000 Pelican Stakes at 6 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up. 8 to the post there. 9 to 5 favorite is Nakatomi with Tyler Gaffleone. Tyler Gaffleone is also there at Tampa Bay today. And then the main event, the $250,000 Grade 3 Sam F. Davis at 1.16 for 3-year-olds. This is part of the Tampa Bay Derby Series. 20 Kentucky Derby points on the line for this one. A field of 12. Wide open affair in this one. The morning line favorite sits at 3 to 1. Change of command with Tyler Gaffleone. All right, 11 races today at Tampa Bay. They've got a nice pick six jackpot carryover there today. $103,048 in the pick six jackpot at Tampa Bay today. First post time, 9:30. Fairgrounds has 9 races. Wait and see what the track conditions might be down there. The Fairgrounds has a regular pick six carryover, $7,143, and a first post time of 10 a.m. for 9 races today in Nolens. Oaklawn Park is next. 11 races there. The $150,000 Ozark Stakes is their 10th and features. 6 furlongs for 3-year-olds. A field of 7. 7 to 5 favorite there is Valentine Candy. Ooh, that might be appropriate for this time of the year. Valentine Candy, 7 to 5, as the favorite there at the Ozark Stakes. That's the 10th at Oaklawn. First post time for their 11 races set at 10:30. 10:30 first post at Oaklawn. Then we get to Sunland Park. Now, they've got all quarter horses today. 9 quarter horse races, and of the 9 quarter horse races, there will be, I take that back. There's 9 races today. There are all 9 quarter horse races. The 3rd through 9th race are going to be quarter horse trials. There'll be quarter horse trials for 3-year-olds at 400 yards. Sunland Park's first post time is 11:25. 11:25 at Sunland Park. They got a couple of small carryovers there. The Pick 5 carryover, regular Pick 5 carryover, by the way, $2,079. They got a Super High 5 carryover of $2,816 at Sunland today. Then we get to Santa Anita, your great race place. Santa Anita back in business today. 10 races, 3 stakes races. The first one comes early. Second race, the Palos Verdes at 6 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up. A field of 5 there. Even money favorite is Big City Lights. Close second choice at 6-5 on the morning line is Hopkins. Then we'll go to the Las Virgenes Stakes for 3-year-old fillies at a mile. This was rescheduled from last weekend's canceled on Sunday to today. Only 5 go to the post, but it's going to be a competitive 5 in this Las Virgenes. This, of course, holds 20 Kentucky Oaks points in it, and the prohibitive favorite there at even money is Kinza. 6-5 on the morning line is Copion, so we might see a good head-to-head battle there in the Las Virgenes. And then the $150,000 San Marcos at a 1.25 miles on the turf for 4-year-olds and up is the 8th race, a field of 6, and the 2-1 favorite there is Missed the Cut with Joel Rosario. 10 races today at Santa Anita, and a first post time of 12:30 at Santa Anita. Golden Gate in Northern California has 8 races. Their feature race is the 7th, the El Camino Real Derby at a 1.1 miles for 3-year-olds. A field of 8 goes there. 2-1 favorite is Endlessly with Umberto Rispoli, who's going up there to ride the Southern California Invader. This is a win and you're in for the Preakness Stakes, middle jewel of the Triple Crown. 8 races today at Golden Gate, and their first post time with a Super High 5 carryover of $9,453 is set at 12:45. Turfway Park has 9 races. The Valdale Stakes is their featured 6.5 furlongs, 3-year-old fillies. That's the 7th on the card. 10 go to the post there. Favorite in that race at 2-1 is Nice as Pie. That's Turfway Park. And Turfway Park has, again, a first post time for Turfway at 2:55. Delta Downs is next. They've got 8 races. Their first post time is 3:15. 3:15 at Delta. Charlestown has 8 races. Their first post time is 4 p.m. Pick 6 jackpot carryover there, $37,703. And then we wrap it up with Los Alamitos in Southern California. Los Al has 9 races, 3 mixed breed races, 1 regular quarter horse race, and then 5 quarter horse trials for 3-year-olds. That makes up the 9 races. Their first post time is 6:10 at Los Alamitos this evening. And that is your racing menu for today. Let's go right to Jonathan Hardoon. Jonathan standing by. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my man. You remember the other day when I was asking about the races that have Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks leaderboard points attached to them, that we were going to go over those races today. There are 3 of them. And wherever you want to start, my man, we'll do it.
It's up to you, Ralph.
All right.
You're the folks.
Let's go to Tampa Bay Downs. Tampa Bay Downs, of course, has 2 of these 3 races today. And the first one is the Suncoast Stakes. It's the 5th race on the card at Tampa Bay Downs. And it's a short field of 6 there. And you got an overwhelming favorite, Life Talk, at 3-5.
Yeah, and I think she's vulnerable, Ralph. I like the number 2 horse in here, Power Squeeze. This 3-year-old filly from the George Delgado barn has 4 career starts, and she's run real well in each one of them. She's on the improve. Last time out, she ran a big figure going a flat mile at Gulfstream. Now she's going to stretch out. She's listed at 5-2 on the morning line, and I think she upsets and beats the 4-horse Life Talk, who is 3-5 on the morning line favorite.
All right, so we're looking at beating that favorite right off the bat. Of course, the big race of the day there at Tampa Bay of the 4 stakes races is the Grade 3 Sam F. Davis at 1.16 miles for 3-year-olds. This is the first in the series of the Tampa Bay Derby series, which is, of course, is a prep for the Kentucky Derby. But this race itself has 20 leaderboard points for the Kentucky Derby leaderboard, and it's a field of 12. And this thing does not look like a heavy favorite should or could be beat, because this looks like it's wide open.
Yeah, we teased this race yesterday on the show, if you remember, and this is going to be one of my 2 official radio plays here, Ralph. I love a horse in here. I love the number 5 horse, No More Time. This is a 3-year-old colt from the Jose D'Angelo barn. I urge everybody to go back and watch this horse's last race at Gulfstream Park. He was breaking from the rail, going a flat mile that day, totally eliminated at the start. He rushed up in the middle of the race, draw a line through that race. Career start number 2, he ran a huge figure at Gulfstream as a 2-year-old. This horse is making a forward move. He's listed at a ridiculous 10-1 on the morning line. I love number 5, No More Time. Paco Lopez for Jose D'Angelo to win today's Sam Davis Stakes, the 10th at Tampa.
You know, Jonathan, there's, of course, Tampa Bay is in Florida, and it's not that very far from Gulfstream Park, but some of the jocks that are riding at Gulfstream Park, like Tyler Gaffleone, Paco Lopez, Jose Ortiz, and Junior Alvarado, all are going to Tampa Bay today to ride there, and they have mounts in those races. How do the invaders usually do when they get to Tampa Bay?
Well, it's like anything else. Some of them run, some of them don't. And again, this horse, I think, is going to run big. You have other horses. It's a full field. You're going to get a price. And if you decide to play someone else in the race, I'll tell you one thing. The favorites, I think, are vulnerable in that race. And again, I landed on the 5, No More Time. And if you like a 10-1 shot, you run to the window. You don't walk to the window.
All right, and that is, of course, the Sam Davis. Going to be a good race there, and No More Time is your selection, not only in the race, but one of your 2 official selections here on the Race Day show. And then we'll get to Santa Anita, the Las Virgenes, which was supposed to be held last Sunday, but with the cancellation there, they moved the race to today. And there's only 5 fillies in this race, but it looks like it's going to be a chess game and a good battle between the 2 favorites.
I give the edge to Copion. I mean, listen, no one knows how good the 3 is. She ran once. It's Baffert. Obviously, she can improve in career start number 2. She stretches out today. I think Copion's the horse to beat, and she's not the favorite. The favorite is Kinza. There's another horse in there that's going to be a little bit of a price to 2. She's Attempts, and I wouldn't dismiss her so quickly. Only question I have with her is she is coming off of Lasix. Mm-hmm. But again, she's the price. She could be the value in the race, but I think Copion is the horse to beat.
And, of course, that's the 5th race today at Santa Anita on a 10-race card that features 2 other stakes races that were scheduled for today as well. And in that 5th race at Santa Anita, you like number 4, Copion. Copion to beat the other favorite, Kinza, in that race. And maybe She's a Tempest can get in there for a little bit of a juicier exacta, huh?
That's the plan.
All right, you got it. All right, Jonathan, we're going to go ahead and get you wrapped.
We got to go to Aqueduct, Ralph. Race 8 at Aqueduct.
Right, okay. We're going to wrap up the 3 races that we wanted to talk about with the points on the leaderboard, both for the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby. And you gave us an official of one of your 2 official picks in that race at Tampa Bay, which is nice and juicy. I like that. But we'll go now to Aqueduct and get your second play.
Yeah, let's look at race number 8. By the way, the weather at Aqueduct today is beautiful. It's in the 50s. There is a snowstorm coming to New York later in the week, so the weather is absolutely crazy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But the 8th race today, full field of 9 there, and I like the number 3 horse, Narciso Dolly. This is a 4-year-old gelding who was claimed 2 starts back by trainer Chris Engelhart. He gave the horse Lasix, and that made all the difference. This horse has improved dramatically in his last 2 races. He's listed at 5-1 on the morning line. I like number 3, Narciso Dolly, to win today's 8th race out at Aqueduct.
And again, the name Narciso, not narcissist, but Narciso Dolly. And that's the 3 horse in the 8th race at Aqueduct. Jonathan, all I got to tell you, my man, is this. You must have done a lot of work yesterday. You usually have 3, maybe 4 sheets. You have 5 complete sheets for 5 racetracks today. They include Tampa Bay, Gulfstream, Santa Anita, Oaklawn, and, of course, Aqueduct. Wow, you did a lot of work.
I started on Thursday, Ralph. I had a couple of requests to do Tampa from some clients, so I figured, what the heck.
Well, let's get to work and get that juicy horse in for the Sam Davis at Tampa Bay, that's for sure. Hey, thanks a lot, Jonathan. I know you got to go, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy your weather.
Ralph.
Enjoy that weather right now because you know what's coming.
I know it's coming.
All right, thanks a lot.
Stay safe and be well. Thanks, Ralph.
Oh, Jonathan, real quick, give them where they can get all these sheets if they want to. Oh, I'm sorry, he's already gone. All right, well, so much, Jonathan. It's at his website anyhow. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, Rich Eng is standing by. We are now hours away. A day and a half maybe, but we're getting real close to the Super Bowl here. And I'm sure that Richie's got a thought or two as we make our way to the final decisions for the Super Bowl. And don't forget, your decision should be right here at the South Point with all these great parties. We'll talk about that right after this as well. Don't go away.
Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is committed to helping our nation's heroes and their families in their darkest hours. When a first responder or veteran doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers supports them. The foundation pays off their mortgages and lifts their financial burdens through their Gold Star Family Home Program and Fallen First Responder Home Program. Through their Smart Home Program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specially adapted to meet their unique physical needs. Tunnel to Towers also provides housing assistance and services to our nation's homeless veterans through their Homeless Veteran Program. They are helping more than 2,000 in 2023 because no veteran should be living on the streets of the country they signed up to protect. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good and never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices made by our nation's heroes. Donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
All right, back on the Race Day Las Vegas radio program. Look, you got to be here at the South Point. If you don't have a ticket to the game, it is the next best place to be. They do it right, and they do it big here at the South Point. Big game parties all over this complex. Every place there's a lounge or a book or a seat, you'll be able to see the big game tomorrow, the Super Bowl. Tomorrow, the Grand Ballroom will be open. The exhibit hall will be open. The Napa room will be open. All the showrooms will be open. Betting windows. Self-betting kiosks are available in case you want to take a little action on the game as it's going. And, of course, the great food and drink prices. You're not going to pay an exorbitant amount for anything. After you park your car for free, after you come in the doors for free, and after you get to the party for free, the first thing you'll be doing is enjoying maybe some food and drink at great prices and, of course, the betting as well. Grand Ballroom, Exhibit Hall, Napa Room, all the showrooms, betting windows, self-betting kiosks, and food and drink specials. It's going to be a great day for celebrating the Super Bowl right here at the South Point, and they got lots of room. Big ballrooms all over the place. So come on down and join us. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, and we're going to go to Rich Eng standing by now. Richie, good morning. By the way, all of the rooms, all these ballrooms and everything open at 10:30 tomorrow morning. 10:30, they'll pop open the doors, and you can get in there and get settled in all the big seats and all that, the tables and all that, and then you'll be all set and ready to go for later on in the day. And you might want to bet a few horses before the Super Bowl starts as well. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralph. Yeah, that was the suggestion I was going to make as you were talking about opening the ballroom at 10:30. Since the first race goes off at 8:50 at Aqueduct, you got a couple hours to play horses at least before you settle for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, maybe we can find out what the Clydesdales were betting yesterday. All right.
I tell you what. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to start with the check of the odds while you and Jonathan were talking. I usually go through some of my phone apps, and Ralph, here it's still -2, 47.5. But I can honestly report that there is more than one book in town that has moved the line to -2.5. San Francisco.
Yeah, I'll never get to 3, but 2.5 is a pretty ambitious as well. That's for sure. This line has been holding very well. When you're talking about, most of the people you talk about are just enamored with the Kansas City team and Kelsey and Mahomes and all that. But yet the line is holding, and the line is only what the bookmakers handicap the players. Because they are odds makers. They're not pickers. They're odds makers, although a lot of them will be picking personally. but their job is to produce a line that they hope they'll get even action on both sides. So in that, they're handicapping the players to be betting a little bit more on San Francisco, and right now it's holding.
It is holding, Ralph, and if you have access to some of the programs that show the betting splits as far as handle and as far as number of bets, it's still heavily skewed toward the Kansas City Chiefs. Yet the bookmakers, for the most part, have refused to move off the -2. And but now there's a couple that are at -2.5. Tomorrow, the flood of money really comes in on Sunday. Probably starts first thing in the morning, and people just bet right up until kickoff, which I guess is around 3:30 Pacific time.
And as you say, with with the more tickets themselves, more people placing tickets on Kansas City. Yet, the line didn't come down for San Francisco; it went up. Only tells us one thing: right now, those massive amounts of tickets are all kind of small bets compared to the big bets of hundreds of thousands of dollars and $1 million plays. And I got to tell you, most of those got to be going on San Francisco because they're not moving that number.
Well, one angle geographically, Ralph, is the fact that we are so close to San Francisco and Northern California.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money in Silicon Valley. If those folks come over here and support the 49ers, I mean, they're going to catch up in the amount of handle, maybe not in the number of bets, but at least in the amount of handle if some of those big players really take a shot.
Well, now we get into the proposition bets, and right now they're saying the mix between the proposition bet, hold, and handle, and the actual game itself bets, the vanilla bet, I call it, is about a 50-50 right now because everybody, that watches the Super Bowl, especially those who don't play football and sports all the time and understand the -110 to 100, or here at the South Point, if you want to make a straight bet, it's -105 to the 100. So they're taking half of their juice away from them and giving it back to the customer. But a lot of people just want to throw around $10 and $20 bills and just have some fun at the Super Bowl, watching it with their friends, etc. I know a lot of significant others out there got their pens ready to see if they can get a prop bet or two out of you. So what do you say?
Well, over the last couple of days, we've gone over some of the angles for getting more than the -110. We've gone over, who's scoring the touchdowns first and, that kind of thing. And we also went into the if you could prognosticate the final score, that kind of thing. I think today we'll take a look at one of the last vestiges of, getting some angles. And by the way, it's still not too late to pick up your South Point.
Wait, hold on a second. Put that up again. You see, folks, you see all those little red marks? Those are highlighted of the bets that he's made so far, I know.
Well, there's some of them are just bets that I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it.
The angle I was going to talk about today was alternate point spread props for, the point spread and also for the total. Because if, right now it's -2 for the 49ers, 47.5. But if you think the game's going to be a little lopsided one way or another, you could take advantage of your own handicapping skills. For example, if you think that either team is going to win by 7 points instead of 2 points, for example, Kansas City at -6.5 as an alternate point spread, plus 250. That's a little extra change. And for the 49ers at -6.5 plus 200. Now, if you want to go up a little more up the ladder, say if you think the 49ers or the Kansas City is going to win by 11 points or more, if I take a look at the -10.5 on the alternate point spread, the San Francisco 49ers are plus 330, and the Kansas City Chiefs at -10.5 are plus 450. So, if you think the game's going to be a little more lopsided, you could take advantage of those prop bets. The same thing goes with the total, Ralph. If you think that the game is going to be close to the vest, a lot of field goals, not many touchdowns, over 35.5, you can get -600 for the over. You can get plus 450 for under. And, this comes into play from time to time. If people remember a few years ago, the Super Bowl between the Los Angeles Rams, when Jared Goff was their quarterback, and the New England Patriots, one of the 6 Super Bowls won by Brady and Belichick, the total was something like 51 or 51.5. the final score for that Super Bowl was 13-3, New
Yeah.
England. So these things do happen. Sometimes you game plan and you plot things out, and the game doesn't go the way that it's been scripted. That was one example where the total was off by almost 40 points. When you think about it, people who bet the over were sitting there at halftime knowing they had no chance. So it can happen depending on how the games play out.
Well, and the good thing about the Super Bowl is if you are whatever you determine, you think of how the game's going to go. If it isn't going that way by halftime, well, then there's all these halftime bets you can jump in and try to correct an earlier bet that you're going to lose with an adjustment bet, like the teams do at halftime. They adjust, and the players can adjust as well, because there's bets for practically every play in the Super Bowl somewhere on the prop sheet. And of course, there's plays for each quarter, plays for individual players, etc. And some of the goofy stuff like, will there be a 2-point conversion? Who's going to get the first penalty? All those things come into play. So it's those are fun bets, though. And I want to remind everybody that those are mostly fun bets. And that's what it's all about. It's a celebration of the NFL and the big game, the Super Bowl, with the largest TV audience anybody will get all year long for sure. And when you were talking about like the plus 250, here's the thing, folks. If you bet $10 on that play and it hits, you will get $35 back. Your original $10 plus 25 extra. If you bet 100, then you get $350 back. That's the plus 250. But it works whether you bet $10, $100, or $1,000. It doesn't matter, and it's going to be a great game. All right, now Richie, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to ask you who you like actually in the game. But I gotta ask you, with all these experts, and this town is full with heavyweight people from every part of life, entertainment, sports broadcasting, etc. This is the hub of the world right now as far as those people are concerned. You see famous people all over the place here, up and down the Strip and beyond here in Las Vegas. But all of those suggestions and everything, give me a little tease for a lean for tomorrow. What are you leaning towards?
Well, I want to hit on two things real quick. If people follow me on Twitter, I put out a couple of tweets which were, I think, enlightening. One of them was I quoted an article from Peter King, who was interviewing Kyle Shanahan, the coach of the San Francisco 49ers. And Shanahan is quoted in Peter King's article as saying he cannot understand how people gamble on these games, because he says, I know more about football than most people. And when I go into a game, I have a game plan, but, I'm just paraphrasing right now. But he says, a lot of times I'm 180% wrong. He says, how can people bet on this? I thought it was kind of funny where, one of the coaches of the Super Bowl teams, sometimes he admits that he is wrong when he tries to game plan and make decisions during the course of a game. The other item I gave out was I gave out some statistics involving one of the sides, and it's a pretty strong lean as far as
I saw that. Go ahead. Lay it out. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to say it or just?
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Well, the tweet I gave out was the fact that people are betting Patrick Mahomes during this postseason because he has been an underdog in every game this postseason, and in his NFL career, he's been an underdog 13 games. His against the spread record is 11-1-1, so that's pretty strong. And then another statistic that I found was that the fact that Andy Reid, when he coached the Eagles and when he coached now the Kansas City Chiefs, when he has 2 weeks to prepare for a football game, 2 weeks, meaning it's either a bye during the regular season or we're talking about the postseason. He's been in a number of Super Bowls now. Yeah. His straight up record is 22-4. So take that what you will.
Yeah, those are good stats, that's for sure. And we're going to have your final assessment tomorrow on Super Bowl Sunday. In the meantime, give me a horse at San Anita. We'll let you go.
Okay, let's go to race number 4, Ralph. We got some maidens going short on the grass, 6.5 furlongs, but it's not down the hill. It's straight away. Let's go with the number 6, Jane Kende, 9-5 in the morning line. Philip D'Amato, we always talk about how turf races, whether they're maiden claimers all the way up to graded stakes races. They seem to go through the D'Amato barn, and this horse ran huge first time, got beat by an inch. Flavion Pratt rides again. One step improvement gets the job done. Number 6, Jane Kende, in the 4th at Santa Anita.
4th race, Santa Anita, number 6, Richie's pick, and we'll get his final assessment of what he thinks is going to happen in the Super Bowl 58 tomorrow. In the meantime, you can get Richie's full selections for Santa Anita at our website, racedaylasvegas.com. Just hit Richie's icon. Thanks a lot, Rich. We'll talk to you on Super Bowl day tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All right, we're coming back with John Lindo and Jerry Jackowitz. Don't go away. There's more to come on this Super Bowl Eve Race Day Las Vegas show from the South Point Studios.
South Point Casino is the perfect place to be. Our racebook is completely separate from the sportsbook and totally dedicated to the horse player. With 52 overhead TVs, free Wi-Fi, and cocktail service. Bring your tablet or smartphone and plug into the USB ports to look up your favorite handicapping website without draining your battery. Want to wager from your seat? No problem with our IPTs. Just sign up, make a deposit, and you're off to the races. Plus, you'll earn points for dining, hotel, movies, entertainment, and the spa just by using the club card when wagering. South Point Casino's Racebook has you covered.
The Race Day Las Vegas Show, the only exclusive daily local media racing information source in Las Vegas.
All righty, want to remind you about some great shows also on the South Point Studios streaming at YouTube. They are, of course, Punchlines with Frank Nicotero. Now, Frank's been all over town this week, getting really juicy, nice guest appearances and nice, spots for you as far as segments, etc. And he'll be doing that throughout tomorrow, I believe, as well. But Punchlines, his show is on weekdays, Monday through Friday, from noon until 1 o'clock. You gotta watch Frank. He's great. And, of course, Sports by the Book. My goodness, you need that. 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 3 to 4 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday, 8:30 to 10 a.m. They'll be on right after we're off the air at 8 o'clock here. You got to get that. They'll give you the latest on all this good stuff. And certainly they'll be roaming tomorrow as well for this streaming telecast and network. There'll be a lot of extra stuff on this network tomorrow as far as the Super Bowl is concerned. Now we bring in John Lindo standing by in Southern California. John, we actually got racing today at Santa Anita. Oh, boy.
It's only been a week. I'm glad to have it back. The sun's out today. It should be a beautiful day, and we are on the turf. Tom Quigley put on X or Twitter that the turf will be listed as good. All races stay on the turf as scheduled.
Now, John, your sheet at Gulfstream Park Thursday and Friday has been really hot. You had 4 top winners on Thursday on your sheet. 5 more yesterday. That's 9 top winners on the Lindo Report for Gulfstream Park out of only 18 races. And, of course, your Lindo Report today reverts back to Santa Anita. It is available here only at the South Point Racebook, the Lindo Report covering all the races at Santa Anita, a suggested late pick 4 as you do. And, of course, you're also offering a coast-to-coast pick 5 suggestion as well on the Santa Anita sheet today. Those pick 5 races, of course, the 9th at Gulfstream, 3rd at Santa Anita, 11th at Gulfstream, 6th at Santa Anita, 7th at Santa Anita. But, boy, you've been hot, and the Lindo Report is available here only at the South Point in Las Vegas in our racebook here, free of charge, exclusively for the racing fans because they love horse players.
Well, thanks, Ralph. Yeah, it was a good run last couple of days at Gulfstream, and we like to get back at Santa Anita, and we're kind of flip-flopping between the two as the day's off and the weather holds. So I'm having fun with it and cashing a few tickets.
You darn right you are. Like the winner you gave us yesterday at Gulfstream, a nice $12.80 winner, and Naughty Favors was ready to go yesterday. That was for sure.
Yeah, we got off the layoff there, and again, you read through the lines a little bit. They were dropping to make a little score. The trainer ran 2 in the race. This was the longer price on the board, went off the lower price of the 2 horses, so she was well met.
Now, I know that we're going to talk about the Las Virgenes, which is one of the 2 Kentucky Oaks leaderboard points races today. There's another one at Tampa Bay, the Suncoast, and, of course, the Sam Davis. Do you have a thought about either one of those before we get to the Las Virgenes?
Well, as far as the Sam Davis goes to Tampa, a sentimental pick for me in that race, which goes as race 10.
Yes, it is. Race 10 at Tampa Bay.
I like the 11, Fulmineo. A horse came off the layoff last time, missed the break, moved early against a very slow pace, made the lead and got nailed on the wire, but came off the layoff. But sentimentally, out of a mare that I used to race, and so that's my feeling. I'm rooting for this horse every time he runs, and I think he's got a chance today with a little bit more pace to set him up. He's 15-1 on the program, so I'll take a shot with Fulmineo in the Sam F. Davis.
All right, Sam Davis, 10th race at Tampa Bay, Fulmineo. Look at the odds, folks, 15-1. Oh, yeah. As we were talking about earlier, it seems like the Sam Davis is a wide-open race, and you handicappers, you and both Jonathan are coming up with the horses in double-digit morning lines. You like the 11 in that 10th race at Tampa Bay. And now we'll go, I guess, I'm sure you don't have a thought about the Suncoast in that one there.
I didn't put it on a list of races just because Life Talk is 3-5, and I think she's the right filly, and I'm not doing anybody favors giving a horse that's going to be 2-5.
Yeah, and Life Talk, by the way, in the Kentucky Oaks leaderboard, she's sitting in 7th place with 19 points already. All right, the Las Virginias, 5th race on the card at Santa Anita, 5 filly field, but it looks like it's going to come down to a chess game and a duel between the two favorites in Kinza and Corian.
Well, Kinza and Copian both have to prove that they can get 2 turns, but they act like they will. I like Copian coming off a nice win in the Santa Ynez. She never got out of second gear. She was cruising that day. I think she's going to stretch out fine. Kinza, one of those Baffert horses that didn't take any betting first time out. Usually his good ones, they get hammered, and I don't know if she surprised them or she surprised us, but the way she ran, and she's by Carpe Diem, she should handle 2 turns. If they hook up early, the other Baffert, Nothing Like You, is 2 for 2 going a route of ground. And she's the one that's proven at the mile. So I just think Copian going from 6.5 to 7 to a mile today, I like the pattern.
All right. You got a Copian you think is going to prevail in the Las Virginias and get those 20 Kentucky Oaks points as well. And in the Las Virginias, Copian is your pick with Flavien Prat aboard. That's a Bob Baffert training?
No, that's Richard Mandella.
Richard Mandella, yes. That's why she'll get the 20 points. Okay. Now we'll get your official pick and let you go.
3rd race today at Santa Anita. Number 4, El Rey Dorado stretches out. Got hooked in a pace duel between horses sprinting last time. Got a little tired. Improving on numbers. He'll make the lead today. He'll dictate the pace, and he's bred to get the 2 turns. 4-1 on the morning line. Number 4, El Rey Dorado, race 3, Santa Anita.
3rd race, Santa Anita, number 4, El Rey Dorado, the 4 in the 3rd race, and that's John Lindo's pick for the race day listeners. Don't forget, you get the full Lindo report, suggested late pick 4, and a coast-to-coast pick 5 that's really a bet that's really outperforming itself as far as the payoffs are concerned. All on one sheet, the Lindo report, only here at the South Point, free of charge. Hey, thanks a lot, John. We'll maybe even ask you who you might like in the Super Bowl tomorrow.
All right. Enjoy the nice, quiet weekend out there in Las Vegas.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thanks, John.
Good luck.
All right, now it's time to go to Jerry Jackowitz standing by. Jerry, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
Now, Jerry, we went over yesterday when you had a pick. I suggested that you put a horse in with your link-ups, and it's because of the conversations you've had over the last couple of weeks as far as sharing ideas with people and looking for value plays among them. And so your key horse didn't get there, okay? The horse that I suggested did get there, but here's the wait a minute. Here's the kicker. The kicker is if you got the Jerry J's power pages, he had a V horse in this race. That V horse went off at 28-1. So when I was doing my wagering, I took a flyer with the horse that I liked, your V horse, and your key play. Box those 3 in an exacta box. Well, your key horse didn't get there. Your V horse ran second, and with the horse that I liked, that dollar exacta paid $86, and this is exactly what Jerry was trying to tell people. Use your own thoughts as well as his product to come up with some good plays, right, Jerry?
That's correct. In fact, a lot of people think that if they use the other person's play, they've somehow diminished themselves when they've actually expanded themselves. It's the craziest thing how the psychology of the game, our natural competitive psychology really works against us in terms of doing well. But when you start to include other people's ideas, or at least be open to them, good things happen. And, if you only bought the Power Page for $5 for daily, for one thing only, to find my V and my Star horses, you'd be doing yourself a huge favor. But,
not even.
I don't want to get on the soapbox.
No, but not even a question about that, Jerry, because there's no way I would have had did that box with that horse beyond your key horse if it wasn't a V horse. And I looked up at the board. I said 28-1. It's a V horse. You got to include this in the box. And sure enough, that's the way it came out. That's for sure. So that is a prime example of using those ideas of what he was talking about. Now we can get started.
That's exactly right.
All right, now we can get started.
Also,
go ahead.
And one other comment, that's one of the real good reasons about playing one race at a time, the advantage to playing one race at a time. You ran second with the V horse and you cashed all that money to the other idea. If you didn't, you might not have gone. The V horse might have been disappearing in the pick threes.
Right.
Anyway,
you're right. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll start with Aqueduct.
Yeah, let's start with Aqueduct today. Let's go to the seventh race. Number 8, Cheeky Tico. This horse is 4th rated on the Power Page. I gave it a star. In his last race, it looked to me like he went against the bias and really actually ran a really good race. And I think today we'll see the conditioning, and this 5-year-old gelding should really appreciate the conditioning from that and go forward. So I'm going to give the 8 a shot. It's listed at 10-1. Maybe he'll go off up at 8 or 10-1. So it's a good value horse. I'm going to make a good win place bet on the 8. Then come back with the 8 over the 3, 4, 5, and 9. Reverse 3, 4, 5, and 9 back over the 8. I will press up with the favorite just to make sure that I have a little extra money. So I'll bet an extra 8, 5, 5, 8.
All right. The 7th race at Aqueduct, the 8 is the key. Link-ups are 2, 4, 5, and 9 and a reverse, and another 5, 8, 8, 5 because of the money management that you always say you need to make money.
Sure.
Okay.
Making money is important.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, now we can go to Aqueduct. I'm
right,
sorry. Now we go to
Santa
Anita. Yeah.
Let's go to the 3rd race.
Mm-hmm.
My top-rated horse is El Rey Dorado. He's a star horse, and he has the 1 on the left side of his name, which means he's got early speed. And I think that early speed is really the key to this play. He's stretching out from 6 to 6.5 and now to a mile over his last 3 races. This is 2 turns. I think he can handle 2 turns from a turf race he ran, and he should be loose and lonely on the front end, which might make him really comfortable and may be able to make him get the distance. At 4-1, I think even down to 5-2, I think it's a really reasonable bet. I'll take the 4 over the 1, 2, 3, and 7. Reverse those. But the 4, El Rey Dorado, looks like an excellent win bet at anything above 2-1.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. John Lindo also likes that horse. So we have 2.
I like when John likes my horse.
Yeah, you handicappers both landed on the same race for Santa Anita's pick today for the race day show. And when that happens, we call it the handicapper's good seal of approval. So in the 3rd race, you also like the 4, El Rey Dorado. Your link-ups are 1, 2, 3, and 7 and reverse. And, of course, that's going to be a key horse in that race. I got to tell you, Jerry, and as far as the morning line is concerned, there are 2 horses. There's one 9-5 and 5-2. Your horse is 4-1. And the other horses in the race have low odds as well. So I think you're going to be pretty much holding close to that 4-1, maybe 7-2.
I hope so. I mean, the trainer is Mick Ruiz, and maybe he won't grab as much money, but he's a capable man, and if he's got the right horse, he's going to get the money, and I think that's what he's got today.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll see.
Mick, remember Mr. Ruiz and Bolt d'Or, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
there's a lot of these guys who don't win a lot. It's because they don't have the stock, but they get lucky enough to get somebody who's good, and all of a sudden, wow, they know how to train.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, Linda, the Power Pages, and don't forget, folks, those V horses on there and all the other good, markings on there. Power Pages for Aqueduct and Santa Anita today available at jerryjspowerpage.com. When we talk to you next, God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be here on Super Bowl Sunday for you. But for now, he's got one more thing to say. Say it, Jerry.
Have a great race day, everybody.
here for the Super Bowl tomorrow.